Be good. Be very good.
I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? How you doing? It is a great day. I'm so very excited to be here. I get an author today. Yes, I do. You know I love authors. You know what? They put a lot of time into writing and coming up with things. And sometimes not even coming up with things, digging back into their past, into things that maybe they don't want to do, but they're doing it because they're feeling like as if they don't do it, they're not going to heal as much as they should. Also, they're not going to be helping people in the intern. And I think that books are amazing. I absolutely love books. And I want to welcome my guest today. Her name is Paula Fernandez. And welcome to the show, Paula. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So, okay. So which one are you? Are you fiction or are you fact?
Okay, so the book is true.
Okay.
It is true. But it's just a fun book. It's not, deep or anything like that. It's really just a fun book.
Wow. When did you know you had to write this book, though? What was the circumstances leading up to that?
Well, okay, I'll start at the beginning. So my daughter was living in Hong Kong and she and her husband were moving to New York. And they didn't want the dog to be disrupted, so they thought they would leave her with me until they got settled in New York. And she's a very sweet dog until she came here. And then she turned into a monster. And so I texted my daughter. She, of course, was worried. And I texted her every single day about, dear mom, this is Penny. This is your beautiful Penny. Don't believe anything grandma says. So anyway, and it just, I had all these emails that I had written to her for 6 months, and I decided to just put them in a book.
Mm.
And so that's what I did.
Wow. Wow. So you said, okay, so the dog was coming from Hong Kong to New York, but in turn, it ended up where? Where are you?
I'm in El Paso,
Okay,
Texas.
Texas. So
So so
so
sh-
that's what
she sent the dog here.
right, so that's what the title is. So the title says, yeah, okay, I got you. I got you. So the
Right.
title of the book is I'm gonna get it right now. It's oh my gosh, When Penny Came to Texas.
Right.
Now, Penny is a beautiful dog that was well behaved
Oh gosh, yes.
before
She
she got to you.
right.
What
And
happened?
well, I don't actually know what happened, but she, and I kept sending these emails, her my daughter would say, that's not my Penny. My Penny would never do that. So anyway, and she's a beautiful, loving dog. She just
Hmm.
does nutty stuff. She can't help herself. She steals food off the counter. She knocks the other little dogs into the pool, and just naughty stuff. Nothing really. Oh, she chews up every blanket she can possibly get a hold of. And dare I say it, she poops in my house. And my daughter says never, not ever. She would never do any of this stuff. But she did. And I actually took pictures because I knew I was going to have to prove it.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So, but she was here for 5 months, and I already had two little dogs.
Hmm.
And of course, initially they got along very well. They did. They got along they were actually partners in crime for most everything, because they had never done anything like that. They never did any of these things. And she would do them, and she would just look at you, and she's got this beautiful face with these beautiful, amber color eyes, and you think, why would she do this? But
Wow.
she did.
Was she
She
like
definitely did. Huh?
was she suffering from abandonment, or did she feel like as if
Well,
no?
apparently, yes. I would say she thought she was abandoned,
Oh,
and she well, anyway, most of it is fun. It's funny. She did a few things that were not very nice, but for the most part, she hates men except her dad.
oh,
And
good.
so, we we did a party episode where we had to lock her in a room because she wouldn't stop barking at the men. She's okay pretty much with women, and she's great with other dogs. She's just not good with men. So anyway, and she just is she's just unbelievable. I just never expected it of her,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And we went through all these experiences, and and then finally, of course, her parents came to get her. And I have to add, she got in the car and never looked back. She never said goodbye to me. She never anything. She was gone, and that was it. But when I go to New York to visit my daughter, she's always happy to see me.
I got you. I got you. Wow.
Yeah, she just
So
doesn't
okay.
want to live with me.
So did Penny spoil your other dogs? I have to know.
No, no, she didn't. Oh, well, honestly, she would pull stuff off the counter,
Mm.
and she would share.
Oh, good.
Yes. I don't
So
think she wanted to take the blame alone,
oh,
you know, but that was sometimes, but not always. I distinctly remember one case where I had those, those white bones for dogs that
yes.
you buy. I forget what they're called, but
Raha.
anyway, I had just bought a bag and left it on the kitchen table. And of course, I left, and she took it, and between the three of them, they devoured them all. And then they were all sick,
Of course.
from eating so
That's
much of it.
rawhide. Rawhide.
Yes,
Yeah, rawhide.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's wow.
And
That's tough.
another time I took her to the pet store, and I bent down to lift up a tray because she ate special food. And for some reason, she got away from me, and she headed straight to this bin of pig's ears, and I yelled bloody murder, but of course she wasn't going to stop. She was fixated on the pig's ears. And the store was very understanding. It was a pet store after all. And they actually let her have her pig ear.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
but
Wow.
she just did things like that, and she would sing. She was part husky. She's half
Okay.
husky, and huskies sing.
Yeah.
They have that howl or whatever, and I would take her with me by myself, and she would sit in the car and just sing and sing. And and her mom said that she had never heard her sing.
What?
No, she didn't do that at home. She just did it for me, especially in gas stations. And of course, people would stare and laugh and whatever. But
Oh,
she
wow.
just, it was everything, you
Mm-hmm.
know. One night, okay, I'll just tell this one little episode.
Mm-hmm.
She got up in the middle of the night and she needed to go out. We were in the mountains, and
Oh
I
wow.
don't have a fence or anything. If when the dogs go out, they pretty much stay close by. But I
Mm.
didn't check the camera before I let her out, and there was a deer. And that was the whole reason she wanted to go out.
Of
And
course.
it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and she chased that deer up into the woods, and I chased her, in my nightgown and slippers. And finally, I couldn't see her anymore because it's pitch black once you get into the trees. And finally, I just yelled her name as loud as I could, hoping, please God, let her come back. And she did. She did. She wasn't going to ever catch the deer,
No.
you know, but she was crying. And I don't think she really wanted to hurt her. I think she just wanted to sniff her out or whatever. So another time though, I had her locked on the porch and a deer was close by, and she sang to it. She sang to the deer, and the deer didn't know what to do, just stood there and stared at her. You know. And of
This
course
is
it's not uncommon to have animals come up close.
hmm.
It's a forested area.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Wow, wow. That is, but I think that was a great experience. What did you get out of this besides the book?
Well, I got a very thankful daughter who was very excited when she came to get her. Penny was still alive and doing well, and she was uh but that's why I did it for my daughter.
Mhm.
So it didn't matter that Penny was naughty. We adjusted to everything. it,
Yeah.
it was, but some things she did I thought would make her sick, especially eating chunks of blanket, but
Oh,
she never did get sick.
Mm,
She did actually fine. And yes, I did miss her when she left because she was here for 5 months.
yeah.
So she was a presence
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure. Yes.
I know how
So
you feel. Yeah, I definitely
yeah.
know how you feel. My dog ate a rug and she had to have surgery because she couldn't get it out and it was just stuck in there and she couldn't, and so they had to cut it out. I mean, I don't understand why she ate the rug. I
I don't
mean,
know why they do that. Dogs do that though.
no, she ate the rug. Like the rug was halfway gone by the time I checked on her. And it was I left her only for like 10 minutes and the rug was like gone. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she was just sitting there going, I'm like, oh no.
And
And,
off you go to the vet.
and I could go to the emergency ER because the vet was closed. It was nighttime.
Oh, I've done a few of those trips too. Not
Yeah.
with Penny, but with my other dogs.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
with that in mind, you wrote this book, you published it, and it's out there. What does your daughter say about Penny's adventures?
Well, first of all, she doesn't believe it. She does, but she says, "Not my Penny. My Penny never does stuff like that." And and of course in New York, and Hong Kong too. She lived in an apartment,
Mhm,
so her space was limited. Where here she had a house and a backyard,
yeah.
and she also had other dogs.
Mhm,
So she had company, but she just well, she thinks it's hysterical. But both she and her husband, they just can't picture it. And I sent pictures. I did. I sent pictures of the blankets she ate, and I mean, she just was and but she's very sweet. You have to love her.
wow. And are these? I mean, most of the adventures in the book.
Or what?
Are these adventures in the book?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
What?
And a lot more.
Yeah.
It was just nonstop.
Oh my gosh. What age group are you kind of getting with this book? Like is it the parents can read it to the kids kind of thing too?
But I think kids would enjoy having it read to them. And being a teacher, I don't think it's for small children. I
Okay.
don't. First of all, I don't think they'd get the humor. She's just a
Mhm.
naughty dog.
Right.
Um, but for the most part, I guess the people that I've gotten feedback from have been adults.
Hmm.
They're the ones that actually really enjoy it and get a kick out of it, especially people who are mentioned in the book.
Mm. Yeah, well, definitely, definitely.
Yes, yes.
Well, and where can we find this book?
It's going to be at Barnes and Noble right now. It's on Amazon.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is so sweet.
Yes.
When you are dealing with a real life situation that's so comical, like Penny, okay, that no one believes you except you and whoever else saw it. What kind of advice do you give to writers who want to be able to do what you've done?
What kind of advice?
Hmm.
Just do it. It doesn't matter if it was like my husband used to always tell me that I always wrote. I'm a teacher, so I always wrote stories for my kids because they were little, and I worked in a very poor school district, and so I didn't have the materials I need. So I would write stories, and he said, "You need to get it published," and I said, "No, it's just for the kids." So this one I decided, okay, I'm just going to write it and just let it go and see what happens.
Yeah, well, I think
So
that was a good idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a good idea, especially
So
being a teacher and putting out books. I think that's like almost mandatory for teachers. I mean, I
I
would,
do too. Yes.
yeah,
You
definitely,
have to learn to draw and spell and
yeah,
whatnot. So yes, it is. But
definitely.
this was a very poor district in New Mexico, and I had so much fun doing it, and the kids were so appreciative. So, it just really made it worthwhile. And I just left it when I left.
Well, that is good. That is good.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything? Did we not ask a question that you would like to answer at this
I
moment?
don't think so. I think we've covered the full whatever was on the paper.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes. I have to tell you, you've been very easy to talk to.
Thank you. I love doing this. I think it's just
Yeah.
a thing to actually have people on here that have done something, and others who are watching can be inspired by just go ahead and doing it. Like you said, just go ahead and do it. It's
Yeah,
nothing.
just do it. You just have to do it.
Yeah,
You
just
know, it's not going to do it itself.
there you go. And it's in you, and no one else knows about it until you write it on paper or you get it out there. So definitely, definitely. Well, Paula, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it too.
Anytime, anytime. And you guys are going to have to go and see about Penny. I am telling you, the book is called When Penny Came to Texas, and you're going to have to check that out for yourselves. So make sure you get that. You can read that to your children, but it is also kind of like for adults too, who understand about dogs running after deers and eating blankets. Okay. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.